Hello, dear students, welcome back. For the last three classes, we have learned about Mendel's monohybrid ratio, dihybrid ratio, what are the advantages for selecting his experimental material Poisson sativa, and what are the reasons for Mendel's success. Now I will ask you one question, that is, what are the reasons for Mendel's success? This question goes to Jasmine. Tell me, Jasmine, what are the main reasons for Mendel's success? Yes, the first one is suitability of the material Poisson sativa he selected. Second one, he studied single or two characters at a time. He kept all the details of his experimental results of each generation and their phenotypes, so he could refer those results with the new ones. He was very careful about interpreting his experimental results. And the last one, the genes responsible for all the 7 pairs of characters studied by Mendel in his experiments were on separate chromosomes. Okay, good. With this, Mendel's work is over. Today, let's move on to the next chapter, that is genetics after Mendel. Modified Mendelian ratio. In this chapter, the first one is incomplete dominance. See, incomplete dominance. Mendel's principles of complete dominance is not universal. In many cases, F1 hybrids have been found to show no dominance but exhibits an intermediate condition. When a cross is made between a dominant and a recessive, the first offspring do not show dominance but are intermediate between dominance and recessive. This phenomenon is called incomplete dominance. It is otherwise called intermediate inheritance. എന്താണ് പറഞ്ഞത്? Intermediate inheritance. Right? So, incomplete dominance, otherwise called intermediate inheritance. Okay, good. And this incomplete dominance was studied by Karl Correns of Germany in a species called Mirabilis jalaba. What is Mirabilis jalaba? Mirabilis jalaba. 4 o'clock plant. നമ്മൾ 4 മണി പൂ എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞു കേട്ടിട്ടില്ലേ? And this particular plant, 4 o'clock plant, you can see a great diversity in the keys of flower color. You can see red flower, white flower, yellow flower, pink flower, white flower with the pink spots. So many variations you can see in the case of Mirabilis flowers. And Correns, what he did is, he has selected a pure breeding red flowered Mirabilis jalaba to a white flowered Mirabilis jalaba. Right? A red flowered Mirabilis jalaba is crossed to a white flowered Mirabilis jalaba. I take this letter for capital R gene for representing the red color, and small r represent the gene for white flower color. Okay. And in the F1 offspring did not show either red or white, but it shows an intermediate color, that is pink. When the F1 hybrids were inbred, the progeny obtained is one red, two pink, and one white in the ratio of 1:2:1. That is phenotypic ratio. Phenotypic ratio was 1:2:1, and the genotypic ratio was also same, that is 1:2:1. This is against the law of dominance. According to Mendel, two contrasting characters are involved in a cross, one dominates over the other. But in this case, it is the intermediate color pink. So this is what is called incomplete dominance. In incomplete dominance, the ratio, phenotypic ratio is 1:2:1, and the genotypic ratio is also 1:2:1. Here the capital R is incompletely dominant over white small r. So in other ways we can say this is an intermediate gene. The capital R and small r expresses themselves partially, so it produces a pink color. So that much about incomplete dominance. Any doubt in this? Shall we move on to the next cross? Okay. The next Mendelian principles of deviation is gene interaction. What is gene interaction? In this case, I have already told you, Mendel's law of segregation and law of independent assortment are not universally applicable. Mendel's classical Mendelian monohybrid ratio of 3:1 and dihybrid ratio of 9:3:3:1. Right? These are the classical Mendelian ratio, 9:3:3:1 dihybrid ratio. Do not occur in many types of crosses. It was Bateson and Punnett discovered that the genes, the genes of different pairs may interact together to produce a completely new phenotype. That is, a single character is not necessarily controlled by a single gene, may be controlled by more than one gene. Bateson and Punnett found that in fowls. In fowls, and the fowls, കോഴികളിൽ, the comb pattern is controlled by two pairs of allelic genes. In combs, fowl pattern is controlled by two pairs of allelic genes. There are three breeds having, a rose comb, pea comb, and single comb. There are three breeds having a rose, pea, and single comb. Combs of different shapes. നിങ്ങൾ വീട്ടിലെ കോഴികളൊക്കെ ഒന്ന് ശ്രദ്ധിച്ച് അതിന്റെ കോമ്പ് എന്ത് രസമാണ്. ആരെങ്കിലും ശ്രദ്ധിച്ചിട്ടുണ്ടോ? ഇതേ നോക്കൂ, ഇപ്പം 3 ബ്രീഡ്സ് ഈ ബേറ്റ്സൺ പുന്നറ്റ് നോക്കിയപ്പോഴത്തേക്ക് പീ ഉണ്ട്, റോസ് ഉണ്ട്, സിംഗിൾ ഉണ്ട്. റൈറ്റ്? ആൻഡ് ദീസ് 3 breeds can breed true. These 3 varieties can breed true. That's true breeding varieties. When a cross is made between a rose comb and a single comb, showed that rose is dominant over single, and they shows that in the second generation, that is second filial generation, F2 generation, that is also showed a 3:1 ratio. That means rose is dominant over single. Right? Then again similarly, pea-combed fowl is crossed with a single-combed one. Showed that pea-comb is dominant over single. And they segregate in 3:1 ratio in the F2 generation. Then Bateson and Punnett crossed a rose comb variety to a pea-combed variety. Rose combed variety is crossed to a pea-combed variety. In the F1 generation, the F1 offspring showed a completely new phenotype that is called the walnut. Right? So the rose comb is crossed with a single comb. There they found that rose is dominant over single. Right? Similarly, pea-combed fowl is crossed with the single-combed one. There also it shows the pea is dominant over single. And they segregate 3:1 ratio. But when rose comb is crossed with the pea-combed fowl, in the F1 offspring, you can see an entirely different comb pattern that is called walnut. When these walnut combed fowls were inbred, what happens? It produces second filial generation, it produces offsprings of walnut, rose, pea and single combed varieties in the ratio of 9:3:3:1. That is the normal Mendelian dihybrid ratio. Then what is the difference? And here the difference is due to gene interaction. Here the difference is in the case of Mendel's normal dihybrid ratio, there you can't see any new characters. But here in the F1 generation shows a new character. That is the major difference between the Mendelian classical dihybrid ratio and the gene interaction ratio. Here you see the rose comb, the pure breeding capital R, small p into, this is rose, is crossed with P comb. That is small r, capital P. And it produces the homozygous condition, it produces a single type of gametes. And these gametes fuse together to produce capital R, capital P, small p. And this capital R and small r, capital P, small p individual, the F1 hybrid, first filial generation or Adya Talamura, then it produces walnut, a new comb pattern. And it is a heterozygous condition. And these alternate forms are called alleles. What is allele or allelomorphs? Alternate forms of genes are called alleles. I have already told you, Bateson and Punnett found that different pairs of genes, a single character is not necessarily controlled by a single gene. It may be controlled by more than one gene. And here the walnut character is controlled by two genes, two dominant genes. And it is a heterozygous condition. It produces 4 types of gametes. What are the 4 types of gametes? Capital R, capital P, capital R, small p, small r, capital P, small r, small p. Right? And when it is crossed, you will get 16 offsprings. Of the 16 offsprings, 9 of them are walnut, 3 of them are rose, 3 of them are pea, and 1 single. How this happens? The capital R gene alone produces a rose comb. Capital P gene alone produces a pea comb. Whenever these two dominant genes, capital R and capital P, comes together, present together, due to their interaction, it produces a new comb pattern called walnut, due to the gene interaction. And what about single? And the single comb is their recessive condition. With the recessive genes, they interact to produce a single comb. So that much about the gene interaction or comb patterns in fowls. Any doubt in this? Manasilayo? Shall we stop today? Okay. We can stop today and we will continue in the next class. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.